Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Nana Firdaus, and on today's tutorial I'll be showing you how to cut and sew this beautiful prayer hijab that has an extra front covering. So for this tutorial, you will be needing 4 to 4.5 yards of fabric depending on the person's length that you are making it for. So we'll be starting with the front panel. You start by folding your fabric into 2 and the width will be 20 inches. So you fold it this way depending on how wide you want it to be. Since it's a prayer gown, I want it to be wide, which is why I'm using 20 inches. You can use more or less depending on what you want. After folding the 20 inches, I measured my gown length plus extra 2 inches. So for the neck width, I'll be using 4.5 inches because I'm using a very stretchy fabric. If you are using a fabric that is not stretchy, you can use between 5 inches to 6 inches for your neck width depending on how wide you want it to be. Then you measure half of your shoulder length from the folded edge. So I'm measuring 7 inches from the folded edge. And from that 7-inch mark, I'm going to mark 12 inches, which is for the sleeve length, before joining the extra sleeve to it. So on that 12-inch mark, I'm going to come down by 10 inches, which is for my sleeve width. You can do more or less depending on the style you want your sleeves to be. So for the neck depth, I'm going to use 5 inches. Like I said earlier, my fabric is very stretchy. So if you are using crepe fabric, you can do 6 inches for your neck depth. So you are going to connect your neck width to your neck depth. Then you are going to cut your neck piece out. Then you cut the other parts of the body out this way. That's that for the front panel of your prayer hijab. So for the back panel, you are going to repeat the same thing. Fold your fabric into 2 with the width being 20 inches. Then you will lay the front panel that you cut earlier. You are going to lay it on it, making sure that the folded edge of your front panel is on the folded edge of the back panel this way. The only difference you will have here is your neck depth for the back panel, because it won't be as deep as the front panel. So you are going to cut the other part of your gown out. Then you come down by 2 inches for your neck depth for the back panel, and you cut it out this way. So that is that for the body of your abaya. For the hijab part, I'll be using the Egyptian style. So I'll start by cutting the back panel of the hijab. I'll start by folding my fabric into 2, as you can see. Then from the folded edge, I'm going to measure 5 inches for my face opening. And on that 5-inch mark, I'm going to measure 13 inches for the side on a slanted line this way. Then for the length of the back, I want it to be 17 inches. So on the folded edge, I'm going to come down by 17 inches. Then I'm going to link everything together and cut it out. Now to cut the front part of the hijab is going to be way longer than the back part of the hijab because it has extra flap which will cover the bust area. So you are going to go in by 5 inches from your folded edge for the face opening. Then for the length of the front panel, you are going to come down by 25 inches. And on that 5-inch mark, you are going to place your tape rule. Then on a slanted line, you will measure 25 inches also. Then you will cut everything out. So for the neckline of your front panel, you will come down by 3 inches. Then you shape it out this way. The front and back panel of your hijab is ready. Once you are done with that, it's time to cut the sleeve part of your gown. So you fold your fabric into 2. After folding it into 2, you make sure that it is 10 inches on a fold this way, because we use 10 inches for the sleeve width. So you'll be using whatever you used as your sleeve width when folding yours. So the length of the sleeves that I used is 14 inches. So I cut 14 inches for the length. Then I placed this on the fabric to cut the second sleeves. So each sleeve will be 14 inches by 20 inches. After cutting that, it's time to cut the hijab cap part of the hijab. So you fold your fabric into 4. The cap width will be 6 inches and the height will be 4 inches. So I measured 4 inches for the height and 6 inches for the width, then I cut it out. Don't forget to notch the midpoint of your hijab cap. So to the sewing aspect, I'll be starting with the hijab part of this prayer abaya. You are going to place your front and back panels together with the right sides facing each other. Then you'll be joining the sides together, both sides together this way. Remember that the front panel is longer than the back panel, so it will not be equal. You are going to stop where your back panel stops because it is the shorter one here. Once you are done with that, you are going to fold the face opening into 2 in such a way that the seams will be facing each other. Then you will notch the midpoint of the back of the hijab. After notching that, you are going to place it this way. Then it's time to fix your hijab cap. You are going to fold your hijab cap into 2 with the wrong sides facing each other, so the right side will be outside. Then you'll be placing the notch point on your hijab cap on the notch point of the back panel that you just notched, making sure that the right side of the cap is facing the right side of your hijab also. You align your cap properly, then you'll be sewing it down this way. Once you are done with that, you are going to fold the lower part of your back panel together. Then you will notch the midpoint also. The next thing is to hem the ends of your front panel. So I'm going to hem the lower part of my front panel of the hijab. After hemming it, you can leave it this way, or if you choose to use lace trimmings on it, then this is the time to fix your lace trimmings on it. So for the sleeves, I'll be using a simple style for the sleeve. You're going to pick each sleeve, then you fold 1 inches inwards this way as your elastic casing. You'll be making a small elastic casing because we'll be using the 1/2 inch elastic on one side of the sleeves along the 20-inch side. So you're going to make the elastic casing on both sleeves. Before you join the front and back panel of the gown part of your prayer hijab together, you need to join the hijab to the back panel first. So the first thing you will do is you are going to fold your back panel into 2, then you will notch the midpoint of the neckline of your back neckline, which is what you are seeing on your screen. You will lay your back panel with the right side facing up. Then you'll be placing the back part of your hijab on it with the right sides facing each other, and you place the notch point that is on the lower part of the back panel of your hijab on the notch point that you just made on the neckline of the gown. You're going to pin it down. Then you're going to pick the part where you join the front and back panel of your hijab. That is where you are going to pin to the edge of the neckline of your back panel on each side. So the remaining part of your front hijab panel is what you are going to pleat on the shoulder part of your gown. You are going to pleat it this way. Watch what I'm doing carefully. So you are going to pleat each side this way, and then you sew it down. You sew it from the pleated side down to the neckline, down to the other side that you'll be pleating. While joining the back of your hijab to your back neckline, and you notice that the back panel of your hijab is longer or wider than your back neckline, all you have to do is make pleats with the excess. So I'm going to make a wide inverted pleat with the excess that I have on mine, which is what I made. So I measured it. You're going to measure the excess that you have on this side, so you're going to make the same pleats on the other side of the notch too. After making your pleats on the neckline, you're going to make pleats with the remaining part of your front panel on the other side too, like you did for the first side. After joining your hijab panel to your back panel, the next thing you will do is you're going to be sewing your front panel to the back panel. So you sew it the normal way you would join the front and back panel of your gown together. Make sure they are facing each other with the right sides. Then you're going to sew both sides together this way. After joining the front and back panels together, it's time to fix your sleeves. So you're going to turn it to the right side, then you open a side up this way. So you pick your sleeves and you're going to fold it into two on the opposite end of the part that you made your elastic casing. You're going to fold it into two, notch your midpoint. So that midpoint is what you'll be placing on the seam that you just made, where you join the front and back panels together. So you make sure the sleeves is facing the main body of your gown with the right side also. Then you'll be sewing it down. After this, you're going to repeat the same thing for the other side of your abaya too. So once you are done with that, it's time to fix your elastic into your elastic casing. So you are going to cut 10 inches long half-inch elastic, and you are going to use your safety pin to insert it into your elastic casing, and then you'll be folding your sleeves into two with the right sides facing each other. Then you'll be joining from the sleeves down to the main body of your abaya. So you repeat the same thing for the other side too. You are done joining the sides together, you make sure that the length of your gown is what you need, plus extra 1 inch for hemming allowance, trim off any excesses that you might have. Then you are going to hem it. And with that, we have come to the end of the tutorial on how to make this beautiful prayer hijab with extra covering on the bust area. If you found this tutorial video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, suggestions or tips you would like to share, kindly drop them in the comment section below. Have a great day. Ma salam.